Hello, one and all, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. I will say it's episode 232 if you're keeping track in carddom, but more importantly, it's episode number 1 for us on our new home, WSN, the Wrestling Society Network. So welcome to this little corner of the world. Welcome to Wrestling Society Network. Welcome to Card Subject to Change. Of course, I am your host, never wrong, Nick Bull. Card Subject to Change on the Wrestling Society Network is powered by Lopez Pizza, longtime host here locally. Great piece of New York style za if you want it by the slice. Personalize your own pizza or on one of our own classics, wrestling on 24/7. No lie, you got to check it out. Of course, I am never wrong, Nick Bull. I'd be remiss if I did not introduce you, my tag team partner, not only from our days over on the For Frequency's Sake Network, but now here on WSN, the Wrestling Society Network. He is my tag team partner. He is the one. He is the only. He is the Wizard, CZ. Wiz, how you doing, bud? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy new adventure. I'm excited. We got some good things going for us. And we're kind of changing a little direction for some of our episodes, and this is the first of many that I hope where we're going to have more of a discussion. We're going to kind of steer away from the reviews, I think, as we kind of go into this year. We've talked about that a little bit, but we are giving our state of the wrestling world address tonight. So I feel kind of presidential that we get to talk about.
What music would we play to start this? Like, you know, when there's a state of the dress, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, the president of the United States. And then there's like some music or something. I don't know. I guess we'd have to play like Randy Savage's music from like early 90s Raw, the Stars and Stripes Forever, brother. Yeah.
Yes.
Patriotic. But no, nonetheless, no. Yeah, CZ's right. We're still going to bring you the same content. We're just at a different place. And, you know, we're going to try a few new things here in the new year. So welcome to 2026. We have concluded wrestling year 2025. Excited to see where things go here in 2026. Kind of the reason we're talking just about the state of wrestling address here tonight in our first episode over here on WSN.
Yes. And we are not alone in today's episode because we're going to bring on, we've got 2 people that were instrumental in us moving over to WSN. One is a good friend who is on the network, who has been talking to us. He is the host of, among many other things, the Joe Monroe Show. He also does a weekly history of wrestling. Of course, that is none other than Mr. Joe Monroe. Joe!
Listen, I'm telling you, if we do these history things, oh shit! Oh, hey guys, hey, sorry. Just going over the semantics for 2026. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
We're doing great.
Well, as you can see, we do have the list of territories to do, and that's just a sneak peek for 2026, and dare I say 2027. So I have the next for that.
Definitely excited. Love seeing your history of wrestling. They are very good. They're not long.
Oh, awesome. Who was it? You, CZ, that introduced me?
Yes.
How dare you? You're about to be fired from the Joe Monroe Show Roundtable. What does that say? Can you read?
The Dean.
Exactly.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies. I forgot you've been upgraded to the Dean.
I am the Dean of Wrestling History, dubbed by Samp himself. So there you go.
Is this different than the Dean that was in like WWE?
No.
No. Okay.
Different. No. No. Great wrestler, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely. But no.
I hate the gimmick.
And of course, we would not be part of the Wrestling Society Network without this gentleman. He is the co-CEO of WSN and the hardest working man this month and next month in podcasting in the wrestling world, Professor Bear. Professor, how you doing today, sir?
I am tired. How are y'all?
I can imagine you being tired with all the work you're putting in, with your Podcasters Appreciation Month going on. And thank you for joining us. I know you've got a busy schedule, but we appreciate you being on with us here today.
Oh, definitely. I would not miss this for the world. But I have to bring up a little thing. This Joe name change. You don't have to lie to me, Joe. I know you kept looking at me crazy because I am the professor. So you want to try to upstep me and become a dean. It doesn't work here. I still am the top dog.
What I mean, I did prove you wrong in a
Oh, bear.
fact, so that dubbed me the dean right away. But in your defense, there's some confusion about the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship. It took me a while to actually do that.
Hey.
Also, Bear, what the hell happened to the top of your hat?
Oh, look, whether we win or lose, it's always Alabama. Always. and for all those naysayers who have jokes and stuff, enjoy them because we probably got further than you. So, and we still got our championship rings. We have so many we can go back and shine up and stuff. But that's another thing for another time. Let's talk about what we all love is wrestling.
Yes, I'm excited to talk about wrestling. Let's kind of start. We're talking about where we're gonna see 2026 go, but Nick and I have been doing a monthly awards for the last year that eventually go into our end of the year awards as to our fan voted. We have worked on our picks, and I want your opinion on who we picked for the best of this last month of December. So I'm going to throw that graphic up here. We have our first ever tie in the men's between Gunther and MJF. The women goes to Willow Nightingale. The Usos take the tag team, and we thought the match of the month last month in December was Jon Moxley versus Kyle Fletcher at World's End. And I'm anxious to hear your guys' opinion on our picks.
Go ahead, Joe.
Why Gunther?
Nick?
What's that? I couldn't hear him say what he first said.
He asked why Gunther.
Why? I'm curious.
I would argue, I'm biased. I am a Gunther mark. CZ didn't really argue against it. And I would argue that win that he had over Cena is more important than any title win he'll ever have again in history. So that alone, to me, everybody's going to remember who retired Cena.
You got to go. I see your point there, but
so that win, he was a two-time, world heavyweight champion last year. I'm not saying he's the wrestler of the year. He definitely was the wrestler, co-wrestler of the month for the men's last month. I just whether he's in the title hunt or not at Mania doesn't matter. He'll be in an attraction match. He's a made man because he beat John Cena. So that to me carries a lot of weight in how he took down Cena and be able to beat him in his final match. That should mean something going forward, and it gives him instant heat. I know they're trying to, get more heat on him and whatnot. He's done a great job, but I'm interested to see what they do with him as we approach January Royal Rumble, and then of course what happens, as we head into Mania.
Okay, why MJF?
I would say this. I would make the argument for this that AEW probably won the year of 2025. If you want to compare the two companies, what do you consider winning? I would say probably, the storylines, the matches, numbers are. I know everything would go off numbers in the past, right? Ratings and numbers, and that's hard to do now with streaming. But they still do cable numbers, and WWE is still ahead of AEW in that department. So, yeah, they may have not won, in the the wrestling side of things, the money side of things, I'm guessing they may considerably more in AEW. Regardless, MJF is the hottest homegrown AEW talent.
Okay.
Whether you like him or not, he's polarizing, and you're going to check him out when he's on. I also believe him coming back is like the stamp on 2025 for AEW. And the fact he came back in a triple threat, or a four-way, essentially it was a triple threat, or three, and he added himself. he took down the man who took him down, Samoa Joe, who's been beating everybody's butt, and was also in there with Hangman and Swerve, who are arguably the biggest stars of AEW this past year since MJF was gone. So kind of a culmination of things. He also joins a list of very short people to win a World Heavyweight Championship twice before 30. And I also think, I was in the building last week at World's End. Last second, went up with my son and his friend to the event. And that place popped when MJF not only came out, but when he, surprisingly pinned Samoa Joe the way he did. So I think from an AEW standpoint and from a momentum standpoint for MJF, they're surging in the right way as they end 25 and, as we come now into 2026.
Okay, so with both that being said, I want to retort on a few things. One, let's get MJF out of the way because I 100% agree with you when it comes to him. When he comes on, he's one of those special people who's got the knack and charisma. When you hear that music, you're, whoa, okay, MJF. No matter if he's a heel, no matter if he's a babyface or a tweener. To me, he's a tweener because you love to hate him and hate to love him.
Absolutely.
So.
Yes.
So, that right there is a no-brainer for me. And the way he won that title, pinning the champion, perfect. And it gives room to work Swerve and Hangman later down the line.
Absolutely.
That was great. Gunther, I do have a problem with. It's not that he beat John Cena. It's not that. If anybody, it should be. People are saying Edge, but I'm like, nah, they want to build Gunther up. I think, and this is the problem that I have with WWE now, and again, we've discussed this on my show. A lot of there's a lot of people making decisions. It's kind of like WCW all over again. Ever since PKO took over and bought out, I think there's just too many hands in the pot, so to speak.
Sure.
And I think Gunther was a good choice, but building him up, I would want, dare I say, Walter, how he was built up, but the way Gunther is built up, it just seems to me cartoonish. That's just from my standpoint. I don't like how cartoonish he's being. Now the only thing I have seen was, I think it was this past Monday night when he had the shirt with John Cena tapping out. I'm like, okay, perfect. Something like that. Keep rolling with it. That's what you need to do. Stop this stupid, you got to see me up. No, don't do that ever again. Please, for everything that is good in professional wrestling.
Actually, when he did that to AJ the first time, it popped to me because I'm like, you know what? If anybody can do it, it's him. And I thought it was great when he pulled it out on AJ. I don't want to see him doing it every week, though. But if he pulls it out from time to time, I'm not going to be too upset.
It just reminds me of a bad Hans Gruber, and then there you go. But no, that's just, I like. Okay, it's you're making him silly. We need the guy who can possibly invade Poland in the 1940s.
Right.
Gunther. That's who I want to see. I want to see this vicious villain. You got a good buildup. You got a good story. It's just the execution of the story I have a problem with. But I can see both. I'm not trying to crap on Gunther. I'm crapping on WWE because I think Gunther's a hell of a talent. Especially, he's came a long way from his weight loss to him holding the Intercontinental title for the longest time, and him already being a 2-time world champion. Great wrestler. I'm not in with that. And the line, and I will say this is the best thing they said at Saturday Night's main event after Cena tapped out: professional wrestling beats sports entertainment. Perfect.
100%.
Perfect line. But that's just my 2 cents. I would, if I had to choose between the two, MJF all day. Come on. That's just me. Okay, Bear, you're good. Sorry.
So, I'm gonna start with Gunther since that's where you left off. I thought it was excellent. It made sense because over this year they have squandered him. They have squandered him. And I hate to say it like this. I've had a big knock on Jey Uso this year. And it's not because he doesn't have the talent, but it's a false sense of who he is. to me, he had no business of beating Gunther.
especially with the tap out.
Yeah, that oh wow, that really destroyed Gunther. Then once he won it back, he floundered. That was like, it was no point of letting him win it back. I would have rather them let CM Punk take it off of Jay than Gunther because it hurt Gunther. So with them resetting, because this is what I look at it as, a reset for him. And it's perfect. That nuclear heat, he can play with it so many different ways. And at first, yeah, I enjoyed him just being arrogant as hell. Love it. Even instead of fighting people, just laugh, go on. You can't see me, all that. I enjoy it. It's now you got the reset. It's hard to reset a lot of people more than once. So they cannot squander this opportunity with him. And I hope that they can continue going down this good path with him. Now, going to MJF, I love that too. I'm always a big component of let stuff happen that I don't see coming, because we all have a way of looking at wrestling, and we think we're a little bit smarter than most. So when they have something that I don't see coming, it generally pops me. So I'm a big Samoa Joe fan. Love it. But when he won the title, I'm like, why? It didn't make sense to me. I love Joe, but I'm like, Joe is about to go off to the sunset. He doesn't need this title. It's not going to help boost AEW up. Oh, am I so happy that I am wrong about that? Because I didn't see MJF popping back in. I was irritated with. I'm like, oh, three-way again with these same guys. I love all of them, but I don't want to see it again. Bam, MJF. Now, they did something very smart in that I've complained that WWE has not done until recently. Make your mid-card guys feel like they can be world champions. They have so many different people, different directions you can go. You got Hangman, you got Swerve, you got Kenny, you got Joe, you got Will Ospreay when he comes back. You have Fletcher, you have Moxley. You have so many different people. So many you can go. And look, and I know this is not a guy that was in it, but Bandito had such a great year. You can legitimately see him being the AEW champion. So with that, they got the right character for a world champion starting fresh, because like everybody said, MJF can be anything. Whatever he chooses to be. He wants to be a face, he will be a face. He wants to be a heel, he can be a heel. If you want to be a tweener, he can be a tweener. He has that rare ability, especially being as young as he is, he controls the crowd. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. And that gives AEW such a tremendous playing field. And forgot to mention Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, if you want to. There are so many different directions and things you can play with. I can understand why y'all did the tie with them.
Bobby Lashley was the first name I thought of when MJF won. I'm like, oh my, we're going to get this pick back up from when MJF joined the Hurt Syndicate.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be good. So that's like the first person I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get Bobby Lashley MJF now. So
2025 ended in a perfect situation. I didn't think. Now, of course, I'm more biased towards AEW. I freely admit that, but I have to admit, WWE actually is doing something, and it looks like they're following a Triple H formula that a lot of people won't give him credit for. It's all these new faces, these younger talent. And now it's like, hey, we're gonna get some fresh matchups. Maybe these guys can be world champions. Oh my God, the women's mid-card title will feel important. There's so many different things that I'm looking forward to in 2026 now.
And we spent a lot of time talking about the men on our list of 2025 of December. Let's kind of shift gears and talk about 2026, because I think the sky is the limit with where things ended in 2025. I think the first thing, I know you are both more leaning towards AEW, where I'm a WWE guy, just my preference. But let me throw a couple names out there that I think are going to have the biggest years of their career. Kyle Fletcher, Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
I think they're destined to be big stars here in the next year.
I was blessed to the first AEW show I went to. It was Ospreay, and I was bugging out for Ospreay to see him live. But it was the match between him and Kyle Fletcher. And this was the first time they had wrestled. And I left that show thinking, he's going to be a star. He is going to be a star. People don't see that. He is going to be a star if they just continue down the path. Did I think that he would be where he is today? No. But oh my God, it's been quite a while since I've been looking forward to the younger stars and the legitimacy they can create this year.
And Bear, you talk about Kyle Fletcher. It happened by accident. If you want to remember, he was in a pretty good tag team with Mark Davis called Aussie Open.
Yes.
And Mark Davis had, I believe, a severe wrist or arm injury that he had to have surgery on and sidelined. So that kind of shoved Kyle Fletcher out there. Hey, you're on your own for a while here. And he took the ball and ran with it. The guy, he looks like a star. He acts like a star. In the ring, he does stuff that a star does. I think, if it's not this year, he'll be a champ in 2027 for sure. But his ascent is going to be great. And what I'm interested in seeing with that whole storyline there with the Callis family is who's Don going to be loyal to? The guy that can make him the most money, right? So I got a feeling he's going to stick with Fletcher, even though he kind of screwed over Fletcher at World's End, because Fletcher was looking for that screwdriver over there in the corner. So I'm interested to see what happens there with Callis. But the Kyle Fletcher thing really amazes me, just how I don't want to say it happened by accident, because it did. His tag team partner was on the shelf, but it's no accident that he's a stud, that he's a star. I think it just was happenstance how it all went down.
And I think where we don't give Tony a lot of credit with the Ring of Honor thing, he actually let him be a champion there first.
Correct.
To give him the confidence of a singles champion. And it wasn't a long run, but it helped his confidence and him build a great character. And I think that was something brilliant. And like you said, we wouldn't have this if it wasn't for his partner getting hurt.
Well, I got to agree with the Kyle Fletcher thing because even with World's End, and this goes back to AEW storytelling with him searching for that screwdriver, even though early in the night someone from his team, so to speak, used it already, and that's just perfect. Like little tidbits. I think Tony Khan, he may have laid off the Columbia Bam Bam a little bit. He's finally listening to me, and is like, okay, it's little details that matter in stories, especially in professional wrestling. Now, I can see Kyle Fletcher, but I can 100% see Braun Breaker if it's done right, and that goes for both. If they are booked right, if they keep going the way they are going, with pray there's no injuries, whatever. Oh well, we decided to go a different route. You know how wrestling can be.
Yep.
As long as none of that happens to either or, I can say. Honestly, I know I've watched more AEW and WWE, but I gotta say Braun Breaker could be the superstar of the year for 2026. Because I like Braun Breaker. I think he's a heck of a talent. He's athletic. He cuts promos like his Uncle Scott. And, that's entertaining within itself. But, God, he's like dare I say, a bullet train whenever he spears somebody.
Oh, geez.
And he's probably got probably the best spear I have seen in professional wrestling history. And
Amen.
I am saying that with full confidence that he's better than Edge. He's better than Rhino was the gore, not the spear. I'm sorry, Rhino, but he's better than Edge, better than Roman, better than
Goldberg.
Goldberg don't count on my list for anything. Hush, bear. So, so yeah. Sorry, Billy Boy. I liked you as a kid, but I will say. Hang on. Let me get on the subject of Bill Goldberg for just a second. I watched the. Was that WWE Treasures whenever they go out and hunt for stuff, kind of like what I'm doing in Kentucky. He did do a solid to the person that thought he had ring-worn gloves, but he's like, yeah, I didn't wear those because I cut the knuckles off and the thumbs off before I go out just in case I hurt somebody, and it's uncomfortable. But he gave him some other stuff and signed some stuff for him. I'm like, okay, maybe he's not all that bad, but still, Bret Hart, that's all I want to say.
So, talking about Braun Breaker, let me kind of get the feel of the room here. If you were in the Booker's chair, if you were Triple H, when do you pull the trigger? He's got a title match tomorrow as we're live tonight against CM Punk. I don't think that's the right time.
No,
I do.
Mania.
No, honestly, I think that will be the right time. And it's funny we're talking about this because I was talking to someone else about it, and I said, this is a great time to do it. Give him the Edge treatment, which Edge won his first world title. It was
New Year's
right after the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
And he held it for 2 weeks. And then he lost it back. But Edge was able to take that momentum and create it a little more and go boom. And I think for Braun, especially with the storyline that's going on, I think it'll be good for him to win it now. Because then you have a couple of different story ways you can go with it. And on top of that, let him win and let Punk get it back at Royal Rumble. Then you make him even. We seen him angry. We see him confident. Let's see what happens when you take something from him that he says is his. He won't win. He won't win the Rumble. He will dominate the Elimination Chamber. That makes his stock even better. So when he decimates Punk at WrestleMania, I think it'd be better. Now, of course, there's so many different ways of doing it, but I like that because we have a lot of people cheering him, loving him. Make it a little bit questionable.
Yeah, I like where you're going there.
That way you have Breaker 1-1, Punk 1-1 at Mania as the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Perfect.
So if we're saying Braun wins the Rumble or doesn't win the Rumble, but we're saying he fights Punk at Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know,
he'll win a number
generally,
contender spot at the Elimination Chamber. Someone
Right.
from SmackDown will win the Rumble. Elimination Chamber, they decide number one contender for the World Heavyweight title, and that will be Braun Breaker dominating that match, moving on to Mania with Punk
In Chicago.
and Chicago.
and then on top of that, even and just sitting here thinking about it, let Braun do the dang, what's her name? The woman that dominated didn't get any pinned everyone.
Asuka.
Yes. Let him have that type of dominant momentum.
So who do we have?
I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I don't think he's going to win it on Netflix. I think he'll win it on the biggest stage. But yeah, stuff's definitely going to happen tomorrow night. Something big. It's the year anniversary or whatever. It's the big premiere. So
We're going to break walls down tomorrow. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I was going to say, what would be a big talking point and help them get more eyes back on Raw? Because let's face it, Raw has been garbage lately. And,
just Raw.
And so if a world title change that really nobody expects because it's Netflix, let's be real, most people don't think it's going to happen. Bam. Then instantly you're going to be like, oh, hell, now I got to see what's going to go on. I think, and this is just me playing Booker and using some of the best ideas are old ideas. And it's just sitting right there.
What do they say? It's like every 7 years is a good time to reuse old stories.
Yes.
So if Breaker is winning, let's go with where Bear's going. Breaker wins tomorrow, challenges Punk at the Rumble and loses. Who's coming out of the Rumble with the win?
There has to be somebody from SmackDown.
I think Roman Reigns is going to win the Rumble.
Well, yeah, because they're already hinting at Cody and Roman again.
At first, I thought it'd be Braun, but it's going to be Roman because Roman's a bigger star, and we're forgetting that the Rumble is, of course, in Saudi, and they're going to want a big star winning it type of deal. So,
that's the following year. It's going to be Saudi.
No, that's
no. You're talking about the Rumble. I'm sorry.
That's this year. Year. So I think Roman wins the Rumble.
I hope that they will do like they did last year. Give it to someone unexpected. And there's many of ways, just because you win that doesn't mean you're going to go on to go up against the world champion. And you damn sure don't mean you're going to main event. Look what they did to Jay.
Right.
I would say, and this is the formula that I always said, stop letting the main guys win the Royal Rumble. They don't need it. They can come up with 1,001 different reasons why they get the world shot. You can always have, like, let's say LA Knight, just throwing the name out.
Yeah,
he wins, and he doesn't want to wait to WrestleMania. He wants to take the shot at the next pay-per-view.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, the Elimination Chamber. He loses, then you go on. So there's different ways. I think, and this is, again, as much at first as I was upset that Jay won, it was a great call because no one really expected it. It gave the crowd that guy, almost the Daniel Bryan guy that they wanted. So keep that momentum up. Make it unpredictable. The problem is when you continuously make things predictable, you start losing people. Make it unpredictable again.
Yes. Can I just throw this out there? And
No.
Okay. So I don't. Obviously, we've all said it. They're pushing towards Roman Cody 3. Personally, I don't think that needs a title.
No.
I would love to see Drew McIntyre take that belt off of Cody and go into Mania. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't think it's going to happen.
I
But
love it.
Galloway won't do it. I mean, McIntyre won't do it. Oh, come on. Nobody got that? Wow. You uncultured people in this.
I think they should have pulled the string on Drew a couple matches ago with Cody. I hope he wins it just because it'll be something different. And it's not a knock on Cody, but you're right. Cody and Roman does not need the title. The significance of Cody Roman would be Cody would be working heel as opposed to Roman working heel the previous 2 times.
Also, who's sick of them bringing up Dusty every freaking rivalry? Cody? Is it just me? Okay.
I mean, what else does Cody have?
He's Cody Rhodes, man.
I mean, that's the thing. You certain guys you don't have a lot with, and that's unfortunately for Cody. That's his sticking point. His dad,
TNT champion. Come on.
and now Cody is about to turn. He will be here in 2026. When and how, I don't know. Like you, I do wish that McIntyre will get the top, because here's the thing too. Not only Cody getting tired, but you've almost destroyed McIntyre. They have systematically made McIntyre a main eventer and almost to the point of making him, I hate to use this word, but it's true, a main event jobber.
it sure feels like that, man.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. There's no beating around the bush. There's no better way of saying it. I know exactly what you mean.
Truck. Yeah. All right, what other subjects do you guys got for the month? Let's see. What was the other one? The women's?
Yeah, I can put that back out. The women we gave to Willow Nightingale.
No argument there.
I mean, she beat the highest paid, probably the most over women's wrestler in. As much as I hate to say it, I'm not a Mercedes fan, but she is over with the crowd. She's the highest paid women's wrestler out there, and
The first,
she had a great year. But seeing Willow come away with that title, that just was perfect.
and she's the first double women's champion.
Yep. Because she's the women's tag champion, too.
Women's tag champ.
And
Yep.
I'm going to throw it out there, not a bad looking lady. If I wasn't married, hey. Just saying. Willow Nightingale is a beautiful woman. More beautiful.
She's gorgeous. She's
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous.
And for everybody who hates Mercedes, and like, I don't understand why she's getting all these titles. She's burying people. Look what the loss has did for Willow. Look what the loss to Red Velvet did for Red Velvet. Sometimes I think a lot of times we forget wrestling is really the long game. You have to put thought, you have to put time in between storylines to make it legitimize and work. Look, like I said, she won it from Nightingale. It's only right that Nightingale gets her win back.
Yep.
And this is not Nightingale's first win over her. This is her second title win over her.
Yep.
This is so, again, the long story that a lot of us cry that we want, and we complain and, oh, it's not happening now, or man, they went somewhere else. They take us somewhere else to bring us back to the original point that we forgot about. And again, I think it was beautiful. And on top of all of that, her and Statlander made up And that was the time when she dropped the title, she lost her friend, and they're back together. Man, just
Yeah, I don't know if people know this about Bear. Let me tell a story about Bear real quick. Bear was actually one of the many opponents that Bruno Sammartino went up against in his lustrous reign. But be that as it may,
don't talk about that.
be that as it may, I agree. No, that's the great pick. No arguments from Joe here from the dean. The dean agrees.
And you've got to think on the other side of things with Monet losing. She's got to be losing upward, right? She's going to move into the main title picture.
Yep. There's nowhere to go but up. She can help put people over now. So she's got all those titles. Then move on and have a good reign as the AEW Women's Champion.
And it brings eyes because, again, whether you like her or not, she brings audience.
She's polarizing. She's polarizing.
She's CEO, whatever.
So, and then again, and here's something that hasn't been talked about AEW. AEW's women's division has exploded in 2025. And it's so refreshing. You have so much different talent. Their storylines have gotten so much better. Now their time slot hasn't, but the storyline has.
Right.
Just like Timeless Tony Storm. Now of course, once she lost the title, most people are like, oh, what are we going to do? She's able to go and help elevate other people, do other things, and it makes sense. So I think they've done such an amazing job all around with the women's division in the AEW.
If anyone's a good example of being a leader in a division, it's Tony Storm in the women's division.
Yes. And I love that you say that they've just exploded in 2025. I'll track it back to what this was our match of the year, I believe, Nick, or maybe not. Well, this was a nominee for the match of the year for our Cardies was the Hollywood ending.
Yeah,
and
it was a nominee.
Just kind of was a domino effect for the women's division in AEW to just explode.
Yeah, because they're like, "Ooh, we can do this. Okay, let's do it. Let's elevate."
And just think, because they lost. I can't think of her name.
Mariah May, Blake Monroe.
Yes, Mariah May. They lost her. Man, people criticized and dogged AEW like, oh, y'all just it's gonna suck, it's gonna suck. And look at all the people they brought in this year. Techna, of Megan Bain. God, she is just a beast. And look at Serena Saphir. Who in the world would have ever thought that she would be where she is now from where she was? And John Moxley, and I remember this interview so well. They asked him if he could work with people, who would he want to work with? And he said Serena Saphir. And look at what he has done. It's just amazing.
Oh, without a doubt. And just to take a quick time out here, we are the Card Subject to Change on the Wrestling Society Network, and we are, of course, powered by Lopez Pizza, big, great sponsor of ours. Come on in. You guys got to come up to Iowa and have a slice of Lopez. They're fantastic.
How about fly me by some? I'm near an airport. I'll meet you there.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see.
They actually do send half-baked pizzas out to people in cold storage, so they've done that.
Oh,
okay. Well, Half Baked, I like that. That's a good movie, by the way.
I actually got that reference.
Oh man,
what's everyone in here excited the most for in
what?
2026 for wrestling? As a wrestling fan, what are you most excited for?
The in-ring return of Joe Monroe. No, that's never happened. Honestly, I'm digging. I want to see more AEW. A year ago, I never would have said that, but I want to see what else they can do, man. They've impressed me the past few months, and honestly, I want to see what Juggalo Championship Wrestling does because they've been whether Bear. I know mine and
Didn't they
Bear.
just lose their champion as well?
Yeah, we'll talk about that real quick because I think they kind of got screwed there. Now in wrestling, I don't just looking at it from someone who's been in the business. It's like hopefully he's like, hey, WWE made me an offer. I'm going to go there, so I'm going to have to drop the title. Hopefully he did that. If not, that's a little shady. That just speculate. Hopefully it's the latter. Hopefully he's like, hey, they're offering me something. I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to have to drop the title to somebody. But the recent episodes, man, it's been awesome. I've been paying attention more to JCW lately, and yes, it is thanks to Till 5 Wrestling. They've been covering it like crazy. But if I pick a company that I'm liking that is not on cable or major streaming service, it has to be Juggalo Championship Wrestling. They've been doing really good, coming out with weekly episodes and everything. That's kind of unheard in the independent scene. So it's pretty cool.
Summarize
to them
JCW for someone who has never watched.
So JCW, okay, history time. Put your history hats on. Time to learn something. Over 20 years ago, ICP, the Insane Clown Posse, who were actually wrestlers before they got into the rap game, are big wrestling fans, and they're like, hey, let's just start our own wrestling company. Oh, what? By the way, shout out to 313 Detroit. The guys for you, Mike D. They started their own company. At first, it was just about nostalgia. They had legends and stuff. I can't remember the name of the pay-per-view they had, but they had legends come out, and they've been a little bit of a major independent wrestling company, notably Hero, bringing the JCW title on WCW television, if memory serves correctly, I do believe. And, they were also part of the Deadpool. And we actually had a roundtable episode. I think you chimed in, Nick, on it, of ICP deserving to be in a Wrestling Hall of Fame 100%. It's a shame that these guys are not because of what they have done for the sport of professional wrestling, not just them, being involved in matches, loaning their music out to the WWE or WCW, but what they have done with JCW. I mean, it's kind of unheard of when most people would probably think, oh, it's Juggalos. It's not going to last. Well, they've been around for over 20 years. So they're doing something right, and they're following the Juggalo fan base. And now what they got going on with Lunacy, to be completely honest with you, they kind of have some unsung talent that deserves recognition. They have a couple of people that's notable. They had James Storm on there. They have Kerry Morton, part of the Southern Six. People like that pop up. Too Tough Tony. But there's also some talent people may not be familiar with. What's that team? Aaron's. What was that tag team they were talking about? The what is it called? They're like zombies. That's the best way.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of their name.
I can't either, and it was just in my mind. But like you're thinking zombies, how the heck is that going to work, Joe? Well, you need to watch Lunacy to find out because it's amazing. It's different character development. And you got Brothers on Funstruction, who are clowns, have been around for a while. One heck of a tag team. But there's just so much talent in there that is. I hate saying it because a lot of people want to trash JCW. But from what I've grown to appreciate the past few months, and it is thanks to my friends who are like, dude, you need to watch this because they've been pressuring all of us in our little group chat we've had. Dude, you guys need to watch this. It's great. Going back and watching those episodes, it's like, my God, this is great. This is a true wrestling product. What's going to happen next week? And I think that's what major wrestling is kind of missing. I think AEW's kind of is getting the grasp of it. WWE kind of has sort of lost it, but maybe they can slowly gain it back because it's always been they follow that and they don't follow that wishy-washy with WWE. But with JCW, they've actually kept up with that formula. Sure, they got Vince Russo in there, and I'm a Cornette guy. I'll go ahead and admit it. I'm a Jim Cornette guy. Always will be a Jim Cornette guy. But I can't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth with this, and I'll probably get booted out of the cult for saying this. I'm kind of liking what Vince Russo is doing with that company, because I think someone is babysitting him with his ideas. But I could be wrong. But I'm liking it, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, don't Tell 5 Wrestling have a interview with Vito coming up pretty soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JCW, yeah. So yeah, they're making hit waves, man. So if anybody has not watched JCW Lunacy, go to YouTube, go watch it. It's absolutely free, and that's another plus too.
And I've tuned into a couple of episodes. I was surprised, and I'm going to blank on a lot of the names, but I was surprised I knew quite a few people that were on their roster.
Yeah.
The one that stands out, someone who was in GCW that I kind of gravitated towards a couple of years ago during the collective was Alec Price.
Yep.
He's got a tremendous future ahead of him too. And you can catch him on JCW. That's just one of the names that I can pull out of my head.
Mm-hmm. And you're also looking at Stephen Flow, who comes out the Even Flow, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You also have Cocaine, who's part of the Independent Kane family. But just those little gimmicks, man, that's what makes it. A lot of people's like, this is Lunacy. Well, that's the name of the product. You think of Lunacy, okay, what's going to happen? And what I'm trying to get to, it lives up to its name. So if you're a wrestling fan, I would highly urge you to check out JCW Lunacy.
I can't disagree with you there, Joe.
Oh, sorry, that was a long way around, Nick, but
that's okay. Bear, I want to know what you're looking forward to most in 2026.
I'm looking forward to everything. And I know that's just kind of a blank statement, but wrestling is in a period where I see it's starting to get that nuclear hot again. And it's not just WWE or AEW. Like Joe said, I've never watched it, and it's not that just because Russo is writing. It's just I don't have only so much time. I keep my eyes on so many different products and different guys and girls out there that I'm just looking forward to what's coming, because it feels like there's a swell of excitement everywhere. Like the indies. Oh my God. I've been into so many different indie shows, and it's like it's something that is almost not, you can't explain it, but you feel it. It's not just a regular crowd. It's something like, man, there's a buzz in here. Wow. Then I go to another. Wow, it's that buzz in here. Then I'm watching AEW. Jeez, I'm watching WWE. Oh my God, they're getting good again. What is this? And it feels like it's about to be that hot run for hopefully quite a while. Everybody is stepping up their game, and it's so many. And I think what really makes me happy about it is so many different styles. Like, I'm a Southern boy, love old school wrestling. I get all of that from a lot of local indies, and it's not just the old things. It's old, but with new twists to it. It makes me want to follow, and then I can look on our network. We got different promotions. I can look on YouTube. There's different promotions. It's just so much of a swell, and it seems like everybody is feeling this buzz now. And for people I don't even like Russo, I'm actually glad that he's got something where people enjoy that, because in the end, wrestling is all of our loves. And when it succeeds, we know it's better. It's going to be better for the future. We got good times. We get to see different stars. We get to see our stars that we grew up with retire, but we got a new crop coming in. They're just as good. They're putting the right heat, and it's just wrestling. And I'm just looking so forward to it.
And plus, it doesn't help you're very tight with the Kazanas.
The Kazanas, they are such sweet people, and it's not just the Kazanas. The Henrys of Crossfire Promotions, they love them. When I go to certain promotions, they make me feel like I'm a part of that promotion.
Yes.
A quick story. First time my nephew got to go to live wrestling, and I reached out. It was a Joe Kazana promotion, so I reached out to his son to see if I could get ringside seats, and I wasn't able to get into touch with him. So once we got there, I asked could he come to the door. Well, his dad came to the door, and he's like, "Bird, how you doing, man? Hadn't seen you in a minute." I was like, "Yeah, life." I was like, and I pulled him aside and said, "Hey, this is my nephew's first wrestling show. I was wondering if we could get some ringside seats." And he pulled away from me. He's like, "Hey, buddy, so you looking forward to wrestling?" Well, we didn't tell him he was coming. So this big look, we're going to wrestling? And they just did so much for him. They had a tables match. Got a piece of the table about this big of the table. And he was able to get wrestlers to sign it. He got a picture with the NWA World Champion. He got people autographing. He got people talking to him. And as much as I love wrestling, grew up on it, only thing that kept going back into my mind is when I was a kid and my first experience. And my first time being in the ring was last year. My first time being in the cage match was this year. My first time traveling to Texas was last year. So all of that, with all the good stuff happening to me, getting put in the Hall of Fame, getting to meet so many different wrestlers, getting legends numbers in my phone, all of that is great. But the moment my nephew had such an experience that he would never forget, that was bigger than anything else I would ever accomplish in this.
Well said. When you get to see someone else enjoy something that you enjoy so much, that's almost like better than the actual watching the show for me. Like,
And it's almost like cult-like.
yeah, you got like somebody else to buy in. Like, see what you've been missing.
We got it.
So,
I say everybody's a pro wrestling fan. They just don't want to admit it.
Exactly.
And there's something about it's current culture. There's reference. It's what's going. It imitates life. Art imitates life, and I think so many more people need to come out of the closet of being non-wrestling fans and just embrace it because it's awesome.
Well, speaking of coming out of the closets, I got to admit something, fellas. I forgot what I was going to admit. Yeah.
It's probably better.
So we definitely like to be respectful of everybody's time, but there's two things I want to do with you guys before we wrap up tonight. First thing I want to do, we had a lot of people that really had a breakout year in 2025. All two that come to mind, Kyle Fletcher, Javon Evans, off the top of my head.
Yep.
I want to know who you two are looking out at to break out in 2026. Give us a couple names.
Better go first.
Oh, wow. I had to think about that for a second. I honestly, I'm looking for, in the women's division, I'm looking for Jordan Grace to make her presence really felt in WWE. And some people will be like, well, Jordan is such already amazing. Yeah, but she's not on the level of WWE. And I think now she's going to do some amazing things.
She needs that new
I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing, and it's crazy, but Top Flight in AEW, I see them, they're about to get over the hump and start doing some amazing things in AEW.
Okay. Joe, what do you think?
I want to see. You mentioned Javon Evans. That's someone I'm definitely keeping an eye on because you had someone like Swerve Strickland saying he's a better wrestler than me. He's better working than me, and that right there is high praise. If you could get that, perfect. I think we're going to see a lot of people hate him, and I don't know why. I think he's funny. Joe Hendry. I mean, let's just say I believe in Joe Hendry, but we'll see a little bit more of that. I find it a little bit entertaining. And I just want to see Ring of Honor finally get a freaking TV deal, Tony. What the hell, dude?
Get on it. I agree.
But yeah,
I would watch Ring of Honor in a heartbeat if I didn't have to pay $10 a month to do it.
I'll raise you that.
This is who I think is going to have the breakout year of 2026, starting at the Rumble. I think he's going to have a huge match.
Yeah, that match he had with Cody at Saturday Night was great.
Just the stupid ending, but yeah. Well, let me rephrase it. It wasn't stupid. It was lazy ending.
Maybe we get Drew and Oba at Mania.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That would make sense.
Something to think about.
For me, I would really like to see Speedball Mike Bailey do some big things. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. His partner is it Kevin Knight?
Knight.
Yeah.
I think they both have a lot of potential and can break through their ceiling this year. So I'd like to see that happen.
I tell you with Speedball, I had many people tell me how great Speedball was because I wasn't on TNA like that. Then he came over to AEW. I'm like, this is the guy they talking about? I don't see anything special about him. The Continental Classic has made me eat my words. Oh wow. I have to admit that Tony Khan hit another home run because I look forward to the Continental Classic now. You see so many different styles of work. Even to a person like Roddy Strong that I never liked in his career, he won me over with the Continental Classic.
Not even with the Undisputed Era?
Mm-mm.
How dare
I have to admit the Renee stuff that pops me every single time. It's stupid, but it pops me.
Oh man. I think we all agree, regardless of what you like, regardless of what you follow on a weekly basis or whatnot, we're in a good spot wrestling wise. There's an abundance of it. There's something out there for everyone. And we've just chewed up an hour just talking nothing about anything that's in stone, but more like, just what's going on in wrestling and what we're watching. And when when CZ and I started doing this podcast, I always kind of use this podcast as a way for me to selfishly piggyback off what other people are watching so I can figure out what stuff to watch. So I love that we were able to chew up an hour of time just talking about what we want to see in 2026 and of course, what we think is going to happen or what we want to happen. But of course, also being in our premiere episode here on Wrestling Society Network, WSN, we're very happy to have you as a new home and very, very excited to see what the new year comes and working with not only you guys, but everyone else here at the network.
Yes.
Next, we will sign Till 5 Wrestling. I am going to make it happen, Bear. I made this happen. You can thank me later. We're getting till 5. I'm kidding.
I tell you, I'm very blessed to work with some amazing people. Just and I see so much different talent, and we all bring so much different things to podcasting, but then we're all similar, and I love that energy. And that's one of the I'm gonna tell you a conversation me and Joe had one, and me and Joe were talking, and he's like, "Hey." I said, "Hey, what do you think about getting some more people on?" I'm like, "You talking about the ain't you? Ain't you? Yeah, maybe they can come over." I was like, "Well, maybe they can. Maybe I'm gonna put my 2 cents into the conversation I need to have with the other people. Maybe." I said, "Have you talked to him?" He's like, "Well, I've heard some things." "Oh, okay. You hear some things. I hear some things. We get some things together. Maybe it can happen." And lo and behold,
here we are.
We're here. We're happy.
I am the unofficial WSN recruiter. By the way, where's my check? Damn it.
it's still in the mail.
It's still in the mail.
Hey, you know how slow our mail is.
So I know Nick and I have a couple things we want to plug for our show coming up. But before we do that, I want you guys to tell us where you can be found for our viewers who don't know you yet.
Okay, fair.
I can be found all over the place. On my podcast show, A Bear's Thought, this month I am having Wrestling Podcasters Appreciation Month. And that is where I am reaching out to different podcasters and bringing them on my show, getting them to talk about their history with wrestling, how they became podcasters. And the biggest take of it is to let people know, yes, we're all podcasters and we want to be wherever, but we can work together, we can have fun, and we can share this same love that we have of wrestling. So I am running that Monday through Fridays. I can't give you a time because, I'm all over the place. But you can generally find me on my brain blanked out for a second, on our Facebook page, and you can find dates and stuff, and you can go to our YouTube page where if you will become a member, then you'll get notifications not for just myself, but when Joe comes on, when these guys come on, all our different podcasting specials. So thank you so much for continually being wrestling fans. And last but not least, please support your independent wrestling organizations around you. Please.
Oh, Bear called me special. Yeah, I'm kidding. But,
We've always known you're a little special.
coming from, anyways, but no, you can find me on just Google the Joe Monroe Show. That's the best. I'm gonna pull a Samp. Google the Joe Monroe Show, and you'll be able to find our YouTube. You'll be able to find me on TikTok, which is at Joe Monroe 94, which is where we're going to exclusively have our little trivia nights. May start doing that next Sunday, to be completely honest with you. I don't know yet. Personal life happened, threw a monkey wrench into everything, but we're getting back on track. This week, we have a brand new episode of the History of Pro Wrestling. We'll be back with the roundtable. I will say this month, for all the fans of the fantasy booking with ATB, I know CZ's looking forward to that. There's going to be a new episode coming out this month, so be prepared for that. Also, if you have not yet, please go to thewrestlingsociety.com, make a free account, get notifications. You don't only get video, you'll also get audio, because Bear's been working his butt off with the audio as well. So not only will you be hearing my show, Bear's show, or this show, you'll be hearing all other shows that are either with or associated with the Wrestling Society Network. Also, shameless plug for Triple Crown Wrestling. Go check out Triple Crown Wrestling. It is a promotion I do commentating for. They are awesome. They're bringing back professional wrestling as it should be. So go check out Triple Crown Wrestling. And I will say, for the Hall of Fame, more to come on that, because I can't give anything out yet. Sorry, guys. I don't know Hall of Fame spoilers yet. It's January, no, but nothing yet. So be sure to keep an eye on everything. I'm a very busy person, and sometimes I get very tired or grumpy, so I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you being a part of our first WSN show. Bear, I'm thinking about changing the name when we're on the air to Wizard Society Network. Is that acceptable?
No. As a board member, I veto that. No.
No, I tease. As far as card subject to change coming up for us, we'll plug a couple things. First thing I want to mention, my sister podcast, Wrestling with Fitness, coming up at the end of this month on January 28th with my good buddy Zach Takis. We'll be announcing our guest on the Wrestling with Fitness Facebook page before too long. Our other card subject to change family show, Nick, I'm excited about this. We mentioned Edge's cash-in earlier in the night, and that's what we're talking about, New Year's Revolution 06. We will be just a couple days away from the 20th anniversary of that show, Nick.
Absolutely. I put it on last night, starting to watch it. I'm like, well, I forgot this guy was in the match. I forgot this guy was in the match. But looking forward to breaking down that match and the events that follow that match, of course. And, of course, anytime we get to hook up with the show, Joe the Show, Winkle, we have a good time. And what better time than breaking down this elimination chamber match, and of course, the cash in that kind of changed everything.
Yeah. And then next Sunday we're back with card subject to change at our normal time. We will be joined by Leon King, a prominent wrestler here in the Midwest. So looking forward to seeing him in the show and learning all about his wrestling journey too. That is next Sunday at our regular time, 6:30 p.m. Central. So be sure to tune in.
On the Wrestling Society Network.
Absolutely.
Kind of getting Gorgeous George vibes. I'm not tuning in for that.
I think you'll enjoy it. He's got a lot of good things to say. I've been keeping an eye on him for the last couple of weeks. Well, he's been on my radar for a year. I just hadn't reached out to him, but been keeping a closer eye on his stuff for the last couple of weeks. I'm excited to have him in the studio. Any final thoughts as we close out this edition of Card Subject to Change?
Go subscribe to WSN.
That's right. Like, follow, share, subscribe. WSN. Believe there's an app on the Roku. Am I not mistaken? We need to.
The app will be back up this month.
This month. Okay. Well, we'll update our listeners as to that when it does happen.
Yes, sir. We were changing partners, and they are not going to be able to crank it out as quick as we want. So we're going to go back to our old partners, get it. And so we are not taking any more of your valuable time away. You have that until we can bring our update. We have some very, very, very special stuff, and this is just the beginning.
So stay tuned for the return of the WSN app. We'll keep you posted on that. But that's a wrap for this edition of Card Subject to Change. Want to thank the Dean, Joe Monroe, for joining us, and of course, Professor Bear. This has been a privilege having you both on, and look forward to having you both on in the future. For my tag team partner, Mr. Never Wrong, Nick Bull, I am the Wizard CZ, and this has been the Card Subject to Change podcast. We will see you right here next week on the Wrestling Society Network.